Hello everybody, welcome to the I Am IT YouTube channel. My name is Shabazz Dar and I am the IT Geek. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, welcome back to the AZ700 exam study guide series. And yeah, we kind of, this week we started again after sort of the Christmas break, getting the content started again, and we're currently on the ExpressRoute topic. It's been a bit of a difficult one to do this, if I'm honest, because I like to do demos as we go along. Unfortunately, because as I mentioned in my other episodes, because of, I think we did a demo in the first one, but unfortunately since then we've just not been able to, just because I don't have the equipment to be able to do ExpressRoute content like the demos. So very theory based. There's going to be it's kind of a demo in this one where I'm going to go through some troubleshooting steps. But again, I'll be showing you Microsoft Learn's website where you can find those steps and looking at talking about different steps that you can do to test that and diagnose any issues with your ExpressRoute. And again, I'll put that link in the description. So again, Mohammed Sajid's not with me again. He will be back later on in the series, just some scheduling conflicts. So yeah, Mohammed Sajid hopefully should be back next week. So yeah, let's get cracking with this video. So as mentioned, we are still on the ExpressRoute topic. But again, this is still the designing and implementing Microsoft Azure Network Solutions, because it's the AZ700 exam. And this is part 4 of that implementing and managing ExpressRoute topic. So today we're going to talk about implementing bidirectional forwarding detection, and then we're going to look at diagnosing and resolving ExpressRoute connections, and that's kind of what a very loose term demo is going to be around, because I'm going to talk about the steps rather than actually being able to show you anything in the portal. So let's get started. Talk about implementing bidirectional detection first of all. So ExpressRoute supports bidirectional forwarding detection, or BFD, both over private and Microsoft peering. And when you enable BFD, or bidirectional forward detection, over that ExpressRoute, you can speed up the link failure detection between the Microsoft Enterprise Edge, or MSEE devices, and the routers that your ExpressRoute circuit gets configured on, so those on-premises ones, which are known as CE/PE. When you configure, or you can configure an ExpressRoute over your edge routing devices or your partner edge routing devices as well. And finally, BFD provides faster failover time when a link failure is detected, but the overall sort of connection convergence, that'll still take up to a minute for failover between that ExpressRoute virtual network gateway and the Microsoft Enterprise Edge, or the MSEE. So we stick on that topic of bidirectional forwarding detection. BFD is configured by default under all newly created ExpressRoute private and Microsoft peering interfaces on the MSEEs. So to enable BFD, you only need to configure BFD on both your primary and secondary devices. Configuring BFD it's a two-step process. You configure the BFD on the interface and then link it to the BGP session. So quite straightforward steps, a couple of steps. Between your BFD peers, the slower of the two peers determines that transmission rate. So that's important to know, because this could be a little gotcha in the exam. And finally, your BFT transmission receive intervals are set to 300 milliseconds. In certain scenarios, the interval may be set at a higher value of maybe 750 milliseconds, but they're set to 300 by default. So let's move on to talking about diagnosing and resolving ExpressRoute connection issues, and then I'll actually show you the sort of steps you can do. So ExpressRoute connectivity traditionally involves 3 distinct network zones, which are known as customer network, provider network, and Microsoft data center. So these are the sort of 3 network zones where you'll need to troubleshoot your connection. So you could have a problem at any of these 3 zones. So some troubleshooting steps, like one for example is verifying circuit provisioning state through the Azure portal. So if you have the equipment and you've been able to configure an ExpressRoute, you can go to that connection and see what state it's in. Similar to if you had a site-side VPN, IPsec VPN tunnel within your Azure portal, you can see that state. The same way with ExpressRoute as well. So again, not got a demo, so to speak, but another troubleshooting kind of step I want to talk about is you're validating your peering configuration. So again, go through your sort of peering and look at are there any errors showing up. Again, is it in a stable connection, and what's the provisioning state as well. You can look at validating your address resolution protocol, so your ARP, DNS, stuff like that. So these are just three very high level sort of troubleshooting steps. What I want to do is just quickly look at the Microsoft documents just to give you some more content. And again, I'm kind of classing it as a demo, but it's not really a demo. So let's move across to that now. So you can probably see on the screen we've got up Microsoft Learn page here, and I'm going to share this in the description of the video. But this is a topic around verifying ExpressRoute connectivity, and as you can see here, it mentions about those customer networks, provider network, or the Microsoft data center. So traditionally, these are sort of three distinct zones that you need to troubleshoot on. But as we go further down, it gives you more of an overview, and this is quite an interesting diagram here because this shows the logical connectivity for a customer network. And if you understand this, I'll just zoom into that a little bit. If you understand this, then this is going to help you in your troubleshooting. So we can see this is where the customer network is. We've got our customer branches. We've got the CEs here. And then there we have the provider network in the middle, and that's where the sort of Ps are. And then from there we move across, that's where we have another ExpressRoute connectivity into the Microsoft data center. So just looking at some of these steps, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps there. As we go further down here, we can see customer compute device, for example, your PC, so that's that step 1 there. Customer edge routers, which is that step 2. Step 3 is the provider edge routers, that's where they are. So again, this is somewhere where you may have to troubleshoot. And then step 4 is the Ps that face Microsoft Enterprise Edge Express routers. 5 is those MSEEs. 6 is the virtual network gateway, and 7 is your compute devices. So this is kind of the 7 sort of areas that you may, or items, key network points that you may have to troubleshoot in their various network zones. So we've got 2 in the customer network, 2 in the provider network, and 3 in the Microsoft data center. So this takes you through a lot of the different aspects you might need to troubleshoot. Talks about verifying circuit provisioning and state. We mentioned this in earlier in the video. And then again, here it shows you exactly where you can do that in the Azure portal. And again, that's the provider status there that we're looking for. So the circuit status needs to be enabled, and the provider status needs to be enabled. So really important is that you check. That's the first thing and the most easiest thing you can really check. So again, it takes us down. You can verify this through PowerShell as well. So if you're more of a PowerShell person, you can do that get-AZ ExpressRoute circuit and point it to the resource group name, and that'll output whether or not what the status is of your ExpressRoute. Again, some more kind of commands you can actually to select the ExpressRoute circuit in your resource group. You can do a further command there, be more specific. And again, this is an example of the response you'll get. And again, you can see here, circuit provisioning state shows enabled, service provider states provision. So that's the sort of information you want. And again, it just shows it there, the output. We talked about validating your peering connection, so you can verify that via the Azure portal again. So we're in our ExpressRoute here, as you can see. I'll just increase that a little bit. So again, you can see we're in our ExpressRoute circuit here in this image. And again, to what we're trying to do here is verify, you get the verification with the Azure portal. Look, status there is provisioned, and you've got a subnet as well. So again, getting that verification there gives us that example from the Azure portal. And again, you can get verification through PowerShell. So PowerShell or the portal, depending on what your preference is. And again, as we go down, there's more troubleshooting steps. We talked about validating ARP. So again, the ARP table, the ExpressRoute circuit, provides the following information: a mapping of the IP address for the on-premises router interface to the MAC address, mapping of the IP address for the ExpressRoute interface to the MAC address, and age of the mapping. Okay, so again, gives us information about how we can validate that ARP. Again, validating BGP and routes on the MSEE as well. That's quite important, and this is done through PowerShell. So again, get-AZ ExpressRoute circuit route table. So you can try that if you have a valid ExpressRoute. And this is what kind of response we'll get. We'll get the network, we'll get the next hop, Again, information about the network and the next hop, and that keeps on going through there. So very, very interesting troubleshooting steps. And again, there's an example of a command for peering that doesn't exist. Again, looking at another troubleshooting step, we can confirm the traffic flow, again, through PowerShell. So PowerShell is quite a powerful tool with your ExpressRoute troubleshooting. It gives us some example of here how we can do some private peering testing. And there's that diagnose and resolve problems. This is in most of the sort of network setups. You've got this diagnose and resolve problems. So you can use that to help you troubleshoot. So again, this is just kind of, I'll put the link to this in obviously the description. I just wanted to kind of show as much as I could really. Again, not having a tenant with an ExpressRoute has made this module a bit more, or this topic a bit more challenging. But that is it for the ExpressRoute topic. 4 videos. Again, I hope these have been okay. If they haven't, please do let me know anything else you'd like to see, and I'll do my best to try and show it. The link to the GitHub labs is in the description, so if you want to try these yourself and if you have the facility to do that, by all means I recommend doing it, because having a practical element for your exam is very important. So thank you very much for watching. We'll be back with I think the next topic, if I'm not mistaken, I'll just double check. The next topic, yeah, so that's the end of the design, implement, and manage hybrid networking. The next one we're going to start looking at is the design, implement, core networking infrastructure. So we're going to start looking at IP addressing and name resolution. So those are the next few topics that we've got for you. Please do like, comment with any feedback, and most importantly, subscribe. And you can see all my socials in the description as well. So thank you for watching, and up until next time, goodbye.